This is part 2 of the heartbreaking story of a woman who abandoned her 6-month-old baby by the riverside. Years later, she comes face to face with that same child, now a rich and powerful CEO. But before we begin, please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more interesting stories. The room was quiet. Miracle's heart was beating fast. She looked at the old woman standing in front of her. "You're saying, you're my real mother?" she asked again, slowly. Mrs. Martha nodded with tears in her eyes. "Yes. I left you by the river. I had no food, no help. I was afraid. I made a big mistake. But I've never stopped thinking about you." Miracle looked at her for a long time, then said, "I need to know the truth. I want a DNA test." Mrs. Martha nodded again. "Okay. I will do it." A few days later, they both went to a hospital and did the test. When the result came, Miracle opened the envelope with shaking hands. The test said 99.99%. Mrs. Martha was her biological mother. Miracle sat down. She didn't know what to think. Her eyes were wide. Her mind was full of questions. "So, it's true? She is the one who left me. She's the reason I almost died." She picked up the paper again, reading it over and over. She had forgiven the old woman when she thought she was just a stranger. But now that she knew the truth, it was harder. Later that night, Miracle sat with Madame Rose in their small living room. She gave her the DNA test paper. Madame Rose read it, then looked at Miracle. "It's true," she said quietly. Miracle nodded. "Yes. She's my real mother. But I don't know how to feel. I thought I forgave her. But now, everything feels strange. I don't know if I'm angry, or sad, or just confused." Madame Rose gently took her hand and smiled. "My daughter, you don't need to rush. Forgiveness takes time. Love is not about blood alone. I raised you with love. That can never change. But she is part of your story too." Tears ran down Miracle's face. "I'm scared, Mama," she said. "I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hate her. I just don't know what to do." Madame Rose hugged her tightly. "It's okay to feel this way. Just take your time. Your heart will show you the way." Miracle didn't sleep much that night. She looked at the stars outside her window and whispered, "God, what should I do now?" Her real mother had come back. But was it too late? A few days passed. Miracle couldn't sleep well. The DNA test had confirmed the truth: Mrs. Martha was her real mother. But that didn't bring peace. It only brought more questions. She needed answers. So, one Sunday afternoon, Miracle sent a message to both Madame Rose and Mrs. Martha. "Please come to my house tomorrow at 4 p.m. I need us to talk, all of us." They both agreed. The next day, Miracle prepared the sitting room herself. She made sure the chairs were clean, and she placed a bottle of water and a box of tissues on the table, just in case tears came. At exactly 4 p.m., both women arrived. Mrs. Martha looked nervous. She wore her best clothes, though they were still old and faded. Her eyes stayed on the floor. Madame Rose came in quietly, calm and strong as always, her scarf tied neatly. Miracle greeted them both and asked them to sit. She sat across from them, looked into their eyes, and took a deep breath. I called this meeting because I need the truth, she said gently. I'm not angry. I just need to understand. I've accepted the DNA test. You are my mother, she looked at Mrs. Martha, but there is still something I don't know. Mrs. Martha raised her head slowly. Miracle's voice became soft, but firm. Who is my father? The question filled the room like thunder. Mrs. Martha blinked fast. She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her hands shook a little. I've never spoken of him in years, she began. Your father was a man I loved, but he didn't love me back. Tell me everything, Miracle said. Mrs. Martha nodded, her voice shaking. His name was Simon. He was a trader from a nearby town. He used to pass through our village. I was young, lonely, and stupid. He promised me marriage, told me I was special. I believed him. She paused and wiped a tear. When I got pregnant, I went to him. He told me to go away. He said the child was not his. He refused to see me again. He left town. I never saw him again. Miracle listened in silence, her eyes fixed on Mrs. Martha. You mean, he never came back? She asked. Mrs. Martha shook her head. Never. I was left alone. My parents were dead. I had no job. No help. That's when I lost hope, and did the unthinkable. I left you by the river. Madame Rose, who had stayed silent the whole time, now reached for Miracle's hand. My dear, she said softly, you don't have to carry this pain alone. You are stronger than your story. Miracle nodded slowly. Her eyes were full of tears, but her voice was steady. I'm not crying because I'm weak. I'm crying because I'm healing. I'm learning the truth, piece by piece. And I know this journey is not over. She looked at Mrs. Martha again. I thank you for telling me the truth. But I need time to think. To feel. To decide what happens next. Mrs. Martha bowed her head, her voice almost a whisper. I understand. The room was quiet again after Mrs. Martha finished speaking. Miracle wiped her eyes and looked at both women sitting in front of her. She was no longer a child crying for love, she was a woman, full of grace, but also full of truth. She turned to Mrs. Martha and said, I've heard everything you said. I now understand why you left me. I'm not here to judge you. But, if I must forgive you fully, there is one condition. Mrs. Martha looked up quickly. Anything, she said. Just tell me. Miracle took a deep breath. Show me someone, anyone, from my father's side. A brother. A sister. A cousin. I just want to know where I truly come from. Mrs. Martha nodded slowly. Okay, she said. I will try. For the next few weeks, Mrs. Martha began searching. She visited the town where she had last seen Simon, Miracle's father. She asked questions, spoke to elders, and knocked on many doors. Then, one day, she returned to Miracle's house with sad news. I found them, she said quietly. Miracle stood up. You did? Mrs. Martha nodded. Yes. I found his family. But your father? Simon is gone. He died over 5 years ago. He was buried in his hometown. Miracle sat down slowly. Her chest felt heavy. She had never met him, and now she never would. "Are you sure?" she asked. "Yes," Mrs. Mata replied. "They showed me his grave. And they remembered me. They even remembered when I came to him with the pregnancy long ago." Tears rolled down Miracle's cheeks. Not from anger. Just from the sadness of a closed chapter. She stood up, walked to her mother, and hugged her for the first time. "I forgive you," she whispered. "You made a mistake, but you told me the truth. And that takes courage." Mrs. Mata broke down in tears. "Thank you, my daughter. Thank you." From that day, things began to change. Miracle welcomed Mrs. Mata into her home, not as a cleaner, but as family. She gave her a room, made sure she ate well, and told everyone in the house to treat her with respect. But no matter what, Miracle still showed more love to Madame Rose. Madame Rose was the one who raised her, who stayed by her side when the world turned away. Miracle still called her Mama with pride and kissed her forehead every night. Both women, Mrs. Mata and Madame Rose, lived together in peace. They cooked together. They laughed together. And sometimes, they cried together, remembering how far they had all come. Though Miracle never forgot the pain of her past, she chose to live with peace in her heart. She became an even greater woman, known not only for her success but for her strength, her forgiveness, and her love. Thank you for watching this powerful and emotional story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you in the next video. And remember, no matter how your story starts, you can choose how it ends.